Good morning and welcome to the Anthracite Railroads Historical Society's 1989 Convention Excursion. The special feature of today's excursion is the return of the Miss Liberty Herald in the company of F3 number 56. The appearance of number 56 here today is a result of the tireless efforts and generous contributions of ARHS members and friends to restore former Bangor and Aroostook number 46. The orange and blue livery on number 56 is identical to that on the C&J's 10 F3As when they were manufactured by Electromotive Division in 1947. Soon after the 1,500 horsepower F3A and B units were delivered, they had little trouble replacing the C&J's Mikado-type steam engines on prime freight runs. Although number 56's prime mover and other locomotive appliances are operable, electrical conditions don't permit 56 from moving the train itself. Panther Valley Railroad number 2930 is being used to push the train on the 15.5-mile trip from Jim Thorpe to Haucks, Pennsylvania. The former C&J station here is now owned by Carbon County after purchasing it from Conrail in September 1982. It now serves as a ticket and tourist information office. The start of number 56 means departure time is near. As we leave the station, we head north, timetable west, on the former C&J main line between Packerton Junction and Nesquehoning Junction. This section of the Jersey Central's main line hugs the west bank of the Lehigh River. This topographical map shows that a few miles south of Jim Thorpe, the C&J and Lehigh Valley Railroads both shared the west bank of the Lehigh River. North of Packerton Yards, the Lehigh Valley Railroad crossed to the east bank, but the C&J continued on the west bank to Jim Thorpe. Here, Packerton Junction marks the southern boundary of the scenic Lehigh River Gorge. The 2.5 miles of C&J track between Packerton Junction and Jim Thorpe is now owned by Carbon County, which purchased it in February 1980 from Conrail. About 1 mile west of Jim Thorpe, we pass through Nesquehoning Junction. Here the Jersey Central main line again crossed the Lehigh River to run on the east bank. One remaining reminder of the junction is the derelict tower still standing there. Construction of the railroad on which we are riding began in May 1861 as the Nesquehoning Valley Railroad. In November 1868, the railroad was leased to the Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company. It operated over 16 miles between Nesquehoning Junction and Tamanin for the transport of anthracite coal. In March 1871, the Nesquehoning Valley Railroad was leased to the Central Railroad of New Jersey. At the time of this lease, the area around Nesquehoning and nearby Summit Hill was ranked number 3 nationally for the production of high-quality anthracite. In 1900, the Nesquehoning Valley Railroad was dissolved, and in 1913, the Lehigh and New England Railroad took over operations of the Nesquehoning Valley. The Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company owned the Lehigh and New England Railroad, as well as most of the mines in this area. In order to create a shorter transportation route between the Panther Creek Railroad to the south of Nesquehoning Mountain and the Nesquehoning Valley Railroad to the north, the L&E built the 3,800-foot Hauto Tunnel through the mountain in 1872. The tunnel was sealed and abandoned in 1975. A power plant, formerly located at Hauto, used to take large unit coal trains off this branch. Here the train is traveling along the south shore of the lake formed by Hauto Dam. The Jersey Central operated this branch after the Lehigh and New England ceased operations in 1961. When the C&J ended its own Pennsylvania operations on March 31, 1972, the Lehigh Valley took over the line. The Valley proposed to abandon the line in February of 1975, but with the advent of Conrail in 1976, the line was again saved. Under Conrail, two grants of nearly $450,000 in 1976 paid to rehabilitate the branch line from Packerton Junction to Haucks. In 1981, Carbon County purchased the line and became the first Pennsylvania county to own a railroad. And now we're approaching the most scenic site on this line. Here the railroad crosses the Little Schuylkill River on a 900-foot-high steel bridge built in 1902. It's one of the highest bridges in Pennsylvania. We are now approaching the end of our westbound excursion at Haucks. Haucks Yard had been a major connection of the Reading with the C&J for coal traffic. Here number 56 is heading up the east leg of the Y at Haucks. The line ahead extends to Tamanend, which was the end of the Nesquehoning Valley branch. As we begin our return to Jim Thorpe, we see the west leg of the Y at Haucks. These railroad ties and bushes mark the remnants of the east end of Haucks Yard. Here we are nearing the former junction of the Lehigh and New England with the Nesquehoning Valley branch. Few items, except old railroad ties, remain to give evidence of the trackage and interchange which used to be here. The map shows the former track layout of the junction. Here we are looking back towards Hauto Tunnel. We are now passing through the former Jersey Central yard between Jim Thorpe and Nesquehoning Junction. Freight service on this line is provided by the Panther Valley Railroad, which was authorized to do so in 1983 by the Carbon County Commissioners. Excursion passenger service on this line is provided by George Hart's Rail Tours Incorporated, who furnished the passenger equipment for today's trip. Rail Tours and the Carbon County office of the Pocono Mountain Vacation Bureau conduct passenger runs on this line during the summer and fall vacation seasons. As we return to the yard area at the station in Jim Thorpe, we see some of the antique and retired railroad equipment that collectors have restored or are in the process of returning to service. This former Canadian Pacific steam locomotive is being restored. Someday it may see service on the passenger excursions to Haucks. This collection of authentically restored cabooses is particularly interesting. Besides these examples from 4 regional railroads stored here, examples from the Pennsylvania and Lehigh Valley Railroads may be found south of the station. As our train pulls into the station, our excursion formally ends. However, don't go away, there's more to come. We are returning to the yard north of the station to arrange equipment for a special night photo shoot. The shoot will include number 56, RS3 number 1554, a 40-foot C&J boxcar, and C&J flat car. Along the way, we are lucky to participate in a pacing scene involving U-33B number 2895 and an old track speeder. Number 1554 was built for the C&J by the American Locomotive Company in 1953. At 1,600 horsepower, the RS3 model was Alco's answer to EMD's GP7, rated at only 1,500 horsepower. The Jersey Central owned 16 of these 4-axle Alco road switchers. Unfortunately, number 1554 was unable to participate in today's excursion due to a major mechanical failure. However, 1554's owner, the Hauck Mountain Railway Historical Society, plans to repair 1554 and return it to revenue service. After several minutes' work, number 2895 has assembled our short train for the photo shoot tonight. See the center spread in the October 1989 issue of Rail Pace News magazine for the results of tonight's efforts. Just a note before we leave you. Number 56 did indeed return to revenue service on October 13, 1989, when it operated under its own power. That day, number 56 led a Panther Valley freight train on a 60-mile round trip. She has seen service on some of George Hart's fall excursion trains, too. As of October '89, number 56 was the oldest operating EMD road unit in the country. We hope that you've enjoyed today's excursion and the return of Miss Liberty.